Okay, hi and assalamualaikum and welcome to our weekly live Q&A Santai bersama dengan saya Kevin Zahri. Today is the 18th of October 2022 and welcome to our Tuesday kurus Q&A Santai session where we will spend akan meluangkan lebih kurang 60 minit bersama untuk menjawab pelbagai soalan Q&A daripada anda tentang really anything and everything as always, macam pemakanan, senaman, kurang, kawal berat badan, mungkin nak tambah berat badan atau mungkin ada soalan yang peribadi kepada saya. There is no right or wrong question and kita boleh bincangkan anything and everything dalam suasana yang as I always say, this is a safe space. So there is no judgment here. Tak ada soalan yang bagus, tak ada soalan yang tak bagus, tak ada yang salah, tak ada yang betul. But we will bincangkan everything dengan secara intellectually untuk membantu dan membimbing anda ke arah yang lebih sihat, ya, lebih cergas, mungkin lebih kurus, and yang paling penting lebih gembira. And yeah, as always, we are here live on Facebook and YouTube pada masa yang sama. And I will typically go, if it's the first time joining me, basically I will petik soalan daripada our comment section. So if you have any question, you can post your soalan dalam ruangan comment. It doesn't have to be about kesihatan semata-mata. It can really be anything that you would like to ask me. And typically, I will go with siapa cepat dia dapat dulu daripada atas ke bawah. And yeah, try and keep your soalan as ringkas as possible supaya kita boleh menjawab as many questions as possible pada masa yang sama juga. And yeah, if you can, yeah, do share this live session dengan kawan-kawan seperjuangan supaya, as I always say, mereka juga akan mendapat manfaat yang bersama. Alright, so without further ado, I think we can mulakan our discussion pada malam ini. Ya, waalaikumsalam, seluar leggings. Ya, thank you for joining us. Saya yang first, ya, you are the first to hadir tengok live ini. Ya, very, very good. And again, if it's your first time, welcome to our live session. And if it's your kali yang keberapa sudah, welcome back. And ya, kepada our peserta program Bukan Soal Kurus and Jum Kurus yang baru berjaya melengkapi program mereka 6 minggu pada Sabtu yang lepas. Ya, syabas. Dan tahniah saya ucapkan kerana anda berjaya melalui 6 minggu program bersama dengan kami. And if you like to join our program, manalah tahu, you can melayari bukansoalkurus.com. Our cabaran 30 hari akan bermula again pada 1 November ini. Yeah, do check it out. It is a virtual program bersama dengan saya, various coaches untuk pelbagai pembelajaran bersama. Alright, so let's go. And let me go with the first question for daripada Captain Muhammad yang menanti-nanti kita punya sesi TOT, Train of Trainer. I just replied to your email, I think today. Been very, very busy, overwhelmingly busy, but in a good way. But Captain Muhammad Hafiz kita is one of the many individuals yang is looking to join our Train of Trainer program, which we will insyaAllah do sebelum 2023 ini, but I will let you know nanti once we get there. Okay, so soalan beliau is, saya dah baca berkenaan dengan rehab. Boleh tak coach huraikan secara ringkas pada bahasa yang mudah? Kami fahami berapa kali kena buat rehab, bila ia perlu dilaksanakan. Now, rehab ni perhaps rujuk kepada rehabilitation program. I'm not sure whether I pronounced that right or not, but long story short, it is basically soal mungkin rehat daripada senaman. And for me, there is dua jenis rehab or dua jenis rehat. There is the short term and the long term. Now, the short term is minggu ke minggu. So I generally tak sarankan untuk bersenam 7 hari seminggu. I sarankan paling banyak mungkin 5 kali seminggu pun dah more than enough supaya ada 2 hari untuk rehat, supaya again badan dapat memulihkan wear and tear badan. If you tak berehat and you bersemangat nak kurus malam and you do it 7 days a week, berminggu ke minggu, kebarangkalian you cedera is very high, and that's the last thing you want. So I advise typically allocate 2 hari seminggu untuk rehat. So you have 5 hari on, 2 hari off, or 4 hari on, 3 hari off, supaya the body dapat recover the short-term wear and tear. And then there is the long-term wear and tear. This one you kena bayangkan macam pemain bola sepak ke pemain tenis ke apa. They have a long season where the short-term rest minggu ke minggu tak cukup. There will still be wear and tear yang long term will build up. So I sarankan 2 kali setahun, maybe every 6 months or so, take about 2-3 minggu off untuk really allow the long term wear and tear untuk dapatkan masa untuk pulih. because it needs more than just sehari dua. Yeah. So long story short, that usually is what I sarankan sebagai rehat dalam program kecergasan. There is the short-term rest and the long-term rest. Ya, waalaikumsalam semua. Thank you for joining us. Ya, selamat malam. Okey, daripada Hakuna Matata. Hai Kevin, saya nak tanya, ada apa-apa suplemen atau tips untuk orang yang kerja 12 jam atau lebih, suplemen untuk tenaga mungkin? Now, if you melanggan produk yang seolah-olah macam memberikan tenaga, energy drink and all, yang basically mengandungi caffeine or guarana, basically the caffeine and the guarana, dia macam boost tenaga you. But if sebenarnya what your body needs is rehat, then you're just going to crash lagi cepat selepas tu. So I would not galakkan you bergantung hari ke hari kepada energy drink or supplement yang konon-kononnya give you that boost, because it does not help the body. What I would galakkan Hakuna Matata amalkan is to make sure that you dapat cukup rehat dalam kesibukan kerjaya, dalam kesibukan kehidupan, and tak dipergunakan produk dengan sewenang-wenangnya. Now, does not mean you cannot have your, katakanlah, Red Bull kekadangnya, but don't make it a daily habit if sebenarnya what your body needs is rest. You cannot buy tenaga daripada minuman, and at the end of the day, if you have to rest, rehatkanlah diri. And if you are terlalu overwhelmed dengan kerja 12 jam sehari, if you are younger, you might be able to get away with it because recovery itu agak cepat di usia yang muda. But as you get older, again, sama juga dengan tadi yang wear and tear tu, as you get older, the amalan di usia yang muda will catch up with you, and the recovery di usia yang lebih tinggi is lebih lambat. So in that sense, you have to sort of angkat tangan and tell yourself, you need a bit more time untuk memulihkan diri. And if your body needs rest, rehatlah. Don't depend on the drinks or the supplements semata-mata. Ya, all the best Hakuna Matata dalam cuba menyimbangkan kehidupan seharian. Okay, daripada Jamie D, saya dah berjaya turun, I'm assuming dah berjaya turun berat badan, kemudian sekarang ni dah static. Susah sangat nak turun berat, sedangkan jaga makan macam biasa, exercise pun sebelum ni sama. Any advice? Yeah, this is a very, very common question that we get usually every week, but don't worry. Yeah, this is soal Plateau berat badan, di mana berat tu tak berubah-ubah dah, walaupun makan dah terkawal juga, and senaman pun sama. So firstly, Midi, tahniah diucapkan kerana berjaya mengurangkan berat badan. And once dah agak plateau, and this means macam dah minggu ke minggu, bulan ke bulan, it is not changing anymore, then my advice number one is look at the quality of the quantity makanan yang anda jaga. Look at the macro ratio, the fiber, the protein, proses ke tak proses ke. So look at the quality of the quantity. Nombor dua, sama juga dengan soalan rest tadi, jangan memperkecilkan kepentingan rehat in your program, because if you overtrain and you senam tanpa berhenti-henti, then your body again start to bengkak, inflammation, water retention, stress pelbagai. So jangan memperkecilkan kepentingan rehat dalam memecahkan your plateau. And then number tiga is mempelbagaikan senaman. If you always do the same senaman, which happens in our program juga, agak manja para peserta. Pada permulaan mungkin mencabar, but over time it gets too easy. You have to mempelbagaikannya dengan variety senaman, and also meningkatkan perhaps the intensity yang dah tak cukup dengan kecergasan sekarang berbanding mungkin cukup pada awal program. So again, kepelbagaian senaman. Nombor 4, look at the kepelbagaian pemakanan mungkin. This is where diet macam IF, berpuasa, and diet yang luar biasa sikit boleh membantu untuk just mengejutkan sikit, pola pemakanan, insulin, hormon, water retention, glucose darah tu. So it's okay to kadang-kadang just mix it up to keep the body guessing. Otherwise, the body gets quite used to the pendekatan yang sama. And then nombor 5, just trial and error. Just cuba and see what works. And nombor 6, just take a step back. Chill seminggu 2. Perhaps a lot of the training again ada wear and tear yang berpanjangan. And I hope that these 6 tips lebih kurang membantu MIDI dalam memecahkan the Plateau. And whatever you do, JMIDI, don't give up. Teruskan. Alright, Iza Ain Zara, boleh tanya ke ni? Yes, you can. Just mengemukakan pertanyaan anda dalam ruangan komen, and I will basically go from top to bottom and see what we have di sini. Okay, daripada Najmi Iqbal daripada YouTube, Assalamualaikum salam. Untuk kesihatan dalaman, prefer consume jamu atau suplemen macam vitamin C yang bersesuaian? Now, there's nothing wrong dengan jamu or vitamin yang anda makan, but tak wajib hukumnya, tak semestinya. Yang untuk kesihatan dalaman, which can be macam-macam perkara, it all comes down to perhaps 3 aspek. Again, number 1 is pemakanan secara umumnya, tak semestinya produk, can be buah-buahan, sayuran, roti, oat, cereal. Just cuba makan makanan yang penuh dengan vitamin mineral, yang ada calorie density yang berkualiti. And then nombor 2 juga, gaya hidup aktif penting untuk kekuatan dan kesihatan dan kegembiraan dalaman. If your body is not cergas, dalaman pun agak stres, kurang gembira. If you are cergas, fit, active, bukan setakat you dapat menyalurkan stres kehidupan ke benda yang membina, but it makes your body a lot happier as well. And then membenarkan your body untuk berfungsi dengan lebih baik juga. If you makan suplemen yang paling hebat, vitamin yang paling dahsyat, pengambilan and penyerapan adalah 2 perkara yang sangat berbeza. It does not mean you consume vitamin C 1000% of daily requirement that semuanya akan diserapkan. How much actually gets absorbed bergantung kepada keperluan badan secara umumnya. And it's the same thing. Contohnya, if you buy glucosamine monochondroitin for the joints, you kena bayangkan ni macam lubrication kereta kau. If you tak gerak kenderaan tu, the minyak pelincir cannot melincirkan the gears of your engine. So it's the same thing dengan badan juga. If you want the joints to dapat lubrication yang bagus, you have to menggerakkannya supaya what you do dengan bekalan, sama ada macronutrient or micronutrient, actually dapat dipergunakan oleh badan ikut keperluan semasa. So the gaya hidup mewujudkan the keperluan, and then the pengambilan, whether it is makanan or supplement, then works hand in hand untuk mempergunakannya. Then nombor 3 of the 3 things I dah sebut tadi sikit, for me is again kawalan stres secara umumnya, which is soal kerjaya, kewangan, kehidupan, kesihatan, berat badan. If you are stressed, dalaman everything is tertekan, whether it's your blood circulation, your pernafasan, your penghadaman, a lot of it depends on ketenteraman diri sendiri. So as much as possible, you have to menggabungkan pemakanan yang bagus, lifestyle yang aktif dengan work-life balance, kegembiraan, supaya all 3 can work together untuk menyediakan dalaman yang agak menggembirakan. Beres? Beres. Alright. Let's see. Daripada Hazbul Hadi, Assalamualaikum. Waalaikumsalam. Do you have any simple tips to build the fitness or stamina for beginner? That's a very, very good question. If you are currently a beginner and you termotivasi untuk mulakan program kecergasan, you have to tepuk dada, ask yourself whether you boleh ke tak untuk memulakan program. Ada mana-mana kecederaan tak? Seharapan saya itu tak ada. So once you dah boleh mengaktifkan diri, my advice is don't go from zero to hero. Start dengan agak kecil dulu untuk mendapatkan rentak, dapatkan pengalaman and menguji kemampuan diri. I give you an example. if you join geng-geng berbasikal jarak jauh yang quite popular sekarang ini, a lot of people always complain macam, alamak Cik Kevin, I tak mampu lah nak join kawan-kawan yang dah agak cergas tu. Macam mana kita nak bermula berbasikal kalau baru nak start? My advice, don't kejar kawan yang dah cergas because their cardiovascular fitness and your cardiovascular fitness is not the same. So there's no point you mengejar mereka because you perhaps even memudaratkan keadaan diri. And this is very serious. So my advice is start dengan kumpulan yang agak mempunyai tahap kecergasan yang sama. Get a heart rate monitor, whether it's Apple Watch, Garmin, Sunto ke apa, untuk menilai kadar degupan jantung. Learn how to menilai the maksima kadar degupan jantung, which is 220 minus your age. That's your maxima. Then calculate dua zone. 60% maxima, 80% maxima. Those are your floor and ceiling zone. Contohnya 40 tahun, maxima 180. 80% is 144. 60% is 108. So heart rate 108, 144 di usia 40 would be my zone senaman. So when I do any cardiovascular fitness, I would then sasarkan kadar degupan jantung, push it to about 140, 145-ish. Either kekalkan situ or maybe drop it down sikit. But if I see there is 160 there, because nak kejar si kawan yang jauh tu, you have to slow it down because heart rate ni is umpama RPM kereta. If you push the RPM ke zone yang merah, boleh. But again, you risk kecederaan, kerosakan wear and tear engine tersebut and tak berbaloi cedera hanya demi satu sesi senaman, lagi-lagi bila melibatkan organ jantung kan. So always again, tepuk dada, start slow, and demi masa, once you train within this zone, demi masa berminggu-minggu, you will find you can run faster, ride longer, ride faster, and still maintain zone kadar degupan 60-80% yang sama. So that in a nutshell is tip paling asas untuk keselamatan diri bila melibatkan pembangunan stamina, because stamina is cardiovascular fitness. And for some of you, sebagai seorang beginner, that can be brisk walking. So let's say tomorrow you brisk walk dekat luar taman ke apa, same thing juga, target 60-80%, but because tak cergas, kebarangkalian besar, your RPM kenderaan akan masuk zone tersebut dengan hanya brisk walking atau turun naik bukit sikit, but minggu ke minggu you feel macam heart rate aku tak sampai lah yang zone yang diharapkan, then you have to maybe slow jog pula. So you always follow the kadar degupan jantung untuk menilai kualiti and kesesuaian senaman tersebut. So even if you join any group workout and the coach say go, kau pun yeah, again, you're putting yourself at risk. It's totally okay to say no to the coach. Why? Your heart rate is terlalu tinggi. And if you have no heart rate monitor, don't worry. Yeah, basically ikut percakapan. If you cannot bercakap at all, termengah-mengah, agak tercungap-cungap, then your heart rate is above the 80% zone. Between 60 and 80%, you should be able to bercakap dengan orang sebelah, main bola, kebersukan ke apa, and maintain a conversation while rasa beban senaman. If you are below 60%, you boleh gelak ketawa, Shopee, Lazada, semua okay. Yes, you burn calories, but you will not memberikan perangsang yang berkualiti to your jantung untuk meningkatkan keupayaan kardiovaskularnya. Beres? Beres. Alright. Let's see. Subakri, Kevin, hi. So, macam mana nak ajak orang datang kelas fitness kita? In other words, macam mana ajak orang bersenam? It's a very, very, very good question, and it's not easy, especially perhaps if you are not in that bidang secara umumnya, and perhaps orang tidak mengenali diri anda. So, for example, if you nak mempengaruhi your own persekitaran, you cannot really memaksa mereka, and if you paksa mereka, lagi diorang tak nak. So, if you really nak mempengaruhi kawan-kawan in your surroundings, and you are ikhlas untuk melakukannya, my advice is talk to them as a group or individually. Ask them, what exercise would they like to do? And it may not be the same with what you would like to menjayakan. So that's when you as a leader have to look at the majority, what is kehendak mereka, hiking ke, berbasikal ke, zumba ke, bersukan ke, and start with what is the majority ingin lakukan. And because they ada penyumbangan suara, mereka rasa macam kalau Su tu menjayakannya and they do as I want, macam rasa macam perlulah ikut bersama. But if you just do whatever you like as an individual, you cannot memaksa orang untuk mengikutinya. But if you nak juga buat suka hati kau, which is totally okay, because that's what you enjoy, maybe pada permulaannya dia orang tak nampak keberkesanannya, tak nampak impactnya, but once you dah lebih cergas, once you dah lebih kuat, once you nampak macam happy je, best je, ada banyak pengalaman cerita yang dikongsi, dan mungkin hati mereka tergerak untuk mengikuti langkah Su bersama. So for me, untuk mempengaruhi persekitaran, it must begin with diri sendiri dulu. And this happens in so many of our success story program, Jom Kurus ke Bukan Soal Kurus, where they start alone dalam perjuangan kurangkan berat badan. Tak ada orang menyokong, tak ada orang ikut, but then diorang dah berjaya kurangkan 10, 20, 30 kilo, and then orang take notice. Wah, kau berjaya kurangkan 2-30 kilo, what do you do? Apa yang kau buat? Then is peluang anda untuk berkongsi pengalaman, berkongsi ilmu, berkongsi kegembiraan, and jemput mereka bersenam bersama. But if you sendiri perhaps belum berjaya mengubah that tabiat, then it is perhaps bukanlah susah, but tidak mudah untuk convince orang lain untuk ikut jejak langkah yang sama. But my advice is nawaitu diri sendiri dulu, and then insyaAllah once anda berjaya, then semoga your nawaitu dapat diluaskan kepada your circle, may it be big or small. The hardest circle to pengaruh is keluarga sendiri. Even if I, as Cikgu Fitness Malaysia ke apa, duduk dalam meja makan berkeluarga, and ramai orang cerita tentang senaman ke pemakanan ke, nobody wants to ask me anything, and they don't want to talk to me about pemakanan ke senaman ke apa. And I think it's quite common. So if you are in that circle juga, it's hard to mempengaruhi keluarga sendiri. Friends or tempat kerja lebih senang. But yeah, start dengan diri sendiri dulu. All the best. Yeah, Nur Hafiza, Coach, can you comment on the mini stepper? Is it worth it kalau tak dapat nak go out for brisk walk macam 5K to 10K macam tu? My advice is don't waste money on cardiovascular equipment at the home like treadmill, stationary bike or mini stepper. The niat or the idea to membelinya pada permulaannya macam best. But the realitinya kau tak pakai pun jadi tempat sidai baju and all. So my advice is don't invest in cardiovascular equipment unless you have money lying around and you have memang ruang yang banyak di rumah where you can menyediakan ruang yang khas untuk mesin tersebut. If you want to membeli peralatan gym rumah, I would rather you buy macam kettlebell, dumbbell, core ball yang are quite cheap, number one, and mudah disimpan di mana-mana and are very practical untuk digunakan untuk home workout pelbagai. And anything cardiovascular, my advice is do it outside where ruang and suasana is jauh lebih memberangsangkan. Maybe get a new pair of running shoes ke apa untuk tanamkan semangat sikit. And yeah, that would be my advice secara umumnya. Don't waste your money on indoor cardiovascular equipment yang are very expensive typically and tak digunakan pun, kan? Beres. But yeah, the mini stepper I think is quite cheap juga, but I don't think you're going to use it seperti mana yang perhaps you sangkakan sekarang. But you can buy, and if tak pakai, just jual balik. Thank you, Hadi. Ya, handsome tu tak ke mana juga kan. Alright, Syarul, Nizam, before COVID, saya agak aktif and competitive in sports, running, cycling, swimming, banyaknya. Tapi post-COVID ni less event, susah nak dapat motivation, berat pun dah naik, stamina pun out. Macam mana tu nak gain traction balik? Sekarang terlalu banyak laid back. Yeah, it's a common problem, Syarul, unfortunately, due to the COVID situation where a lot of programs tergendala. But I think now, especially since we dah masuk endemic and it's not quite as bad macam before, ada je pelbagai acara yang boleh disertai. But if you susah nak start balik sendiri and the things that you are used to do macam competitive running and cycling and swimming is not yet jalan seperti mana yang you harapkan, then my advice is join group fitness yang lain yang dah berjalan just to get started. Sometimes it's easier to join a group and daripada join seorang diri, because when you join a group, the semangat kumpulan and kekuatan ukhuwah ramai-ramai itu tends to pull everyone together. It's the same in our program juga. A lot of people, they boleh buat bila berkumpulan, they struggle bila bersendirian. So if you are in that boat right now because you have lost the rentak due to the COVID situation and your competitions and all, mungkin ada, but your fitness is not quite there yet, then my advice, just Google and sign up for a nearby fitness program yang you rasa you can join. It's not about, even if the program is about weight loss, and it still has a lot of elements of fitness, and the exercises typically are sesuai untuk semua orang, I would sangat galakkan Syarul untuk menyertainya, just to dapatkan rentak tu balik, and once dah sebulan dua berlalu, rentak tu dah ada, then perhaps you can berterusan bersendiri. Alright. Yeah, we have Hani here. Salam. Hello from Langkawi Island from the Kufnas. Yeah, the Kufnas. I'm assuming that you guys are German from Langkawi. Ja, viele Grüße aus Monchiara. Ja, hoffentlich kommen wir auch ab und zu mal zu Langkawi und dann können wir die Kufnas besuchen. Ja, bis dann. Ja, viele Grüße an alle. Okay, that was Hani Zim. Assuming there's some Germans over there. Yeah, ramai orang asking me to speak German or teach them. Not quite sure yet how to create content for that, but we'll see. We'll see over the next few weeks, months, or years. Okay. All right, just time check real quick. If you're just joining us, welcome to our live chat Q&A here on Facebook and YouTube every Tuesday pukul 8 malam. If you have sebarang pertanyaan, you can use the comment section to ask away. Can be anything and everything. And if you haven't done so yet, yeah, do share this session dengan kawan-kawan on Facebook or YouTube or dekat mana-mana so they can join bersama as well. Yeah, so that we can all learn together. Okay, daripada baju printing murah, adakah cara untuk pregnant woman turunkan berat badan? Sebab doktor suggest untuk diet sebab berat saya naik mendadak waktu hamil ini. Yeah, very, very good question. And when my wife was pregnant juga, of course, you cannot avoid weight gain because you membina nyawa yang baru yang membesar, especially during trimester yang ketiga. But you want to avoid excessive or unnecessary penambahan berat badan yang berlebihan so that you avoid pregnancy-induced diabetes terutamanya, and then you have so much more weight to lose postnatal nanti. So my advice to you, baju printing murah, is number one, makan secukupnya, berlebihan, but dengan quantity and quality yang sepatutnya. So mahir mengenali dan menilai quality makanan supaya tak makan yang merepek sahaja. I know you have cravings, which is okay, but jangan lupa diri. Nombor dua, aktifkan gaya hidup. Memang boleh bersenam dalam keadaan hamil sekalipun, but of course kena menilai risiko dan elak mana-mana aktiviti yang ada risiko jatuh dan sebagainya. But yeah, brisk walking, berjalan, buat senaman bebanan ringan, duduk di gym ke apa, sangat digalakkan. There are classes for women yang mengandung ketika hamil juga untuk kuatkan bahagian core badan. Now, when you are hamil, there are dua bentuk senaman yang sangat penting untuk dipentingkan supaya mudah berdepan dengan proses delivery itu nanti. One is senaman cardiovascular, which can be brisk walking ke atas brisk walking atas treadmill ke dekat luar mana-mana ke, supaya kekalkan kekuatan kardiovaskular sebaik mungkin, because when you berdepan dengan proses bersalin berjam-jam untuk mengurangkan risiko berdepan dengan cesarean atau bayi lemas ke apa, wallahu alam, perhaps you berdepan dengan long process bersalin, and that requires cardiovascular fitness. If you tak cergas and you dah pancit selepas 30 minit, then menyukarkan keadaan untuk membantu the baby to come out and perhaps berdepan dengan pembedahan yang tak diharapkan. Nombor dua, senaman yang you should do when you are hamil is senaman core. And this is senaman melibatkan your lower back, your abdominal dengan your obliques untuk kekuatan core. Because when you duduk di atas kerusi bersalin tu and your kaki terpancak atas the chair, you cannot really rostan and tolak. You have to use your core muscle to try and push the baby out. But if your core strength tak bagus, and again pancit cepat, it's hard untuk really membantu the proses bersalin dengan sebaik-baiknya. And then again perhaps meningkatkan risiko berdepan dengan pembedahan atau perkara-perkara yang tak diharapkan. So sepanjang proses mengandung, hamil, this is for both mummies and daddies, husband and wives. Pentingkanlah active lifestyle untuk kekalkan cardiovascular fitness, and nombor dua untuk kekalkan kekuatan core and badan secara umumnya, supaya at least you memberikan peluang yang terbaik untuk diri untuk bersalin dengan quote-unquote semudah possible. Beres? Beres. Alright. Let me see what else we have here. Daripada Sally Al-Rashid. What is the best and fastest way for a 12-year-old boy to lose weight? Now, my advice for a 12-year-old boy, and we have an NGO, and our NGO focuses on childhood obesity. My advice kepada sekolah, my advice kepada ibu bapa is always, number one, jangan victimize the child, jangan memalukan dia. And number dua, it's not about kurangkan berat badan, because mereka adalah remaja in this case yang masih membesar. And instead of focusing kepada pengurangan berat badan untuk seorang kanak-kanak yang masih membesar, I would rather you focus kepada tumbesaran yang lebih sihat supaya komposisi badan beliau beralih daripada obes kepada lebih sihat. So but still kena makan makanan yang secukupnya. But sebagai ibu bapa, mengawalilah, kawallah kualiti makanan yang beliau makan. Dan sekiranya beliau ingin makan makanan junk food, totally okay, biarlah di bawah pengkuasaan diri anda, di mana kalau nak makan tu perlu ada kebenaran ke apa, supaya the rules are set, bukan untuk menghukum beliau, but untuk membantu dan membimbing beliau ke arah yang lebih sihat, which I am sure your son or your daughter inginkan. But dia perlukan komunikasi, jangan hukum, jangan memalukan, jangan victimize, but pimpinlah beliau bersama dan membantu beliau untuk ke arah yang lebih sihat, cergas as a family. Because kadangnya it's not just masalah kanak-kanak, it is masalah ibu bapa tu sendiri juga. So again, there's no point in pointing fingers. It's about the ibu bapa mengangkat tangan, memikul tanggungjawab as a family and cuba menggerakkan diri minggu ke minggu, bulan ke bulan, tahun ke tahun. It must be gaya hidup yang konsisten. It cannot be a crash course, and I would not recommend any child to go on any crazy diets. biarlah makan makanan yang biasa, but fokus kepada the longevity untuk membantu beliau bukan kurang berat badan, but melalui tumbesaran di mana akan ada peningkatan berat badan, but in this case fokus kepada lebih bentuk badan semata-mata. Alright. Let me see what else we have here. Okay, daripada Cornelia L ni, saya nak skip minum air manis dalam masa sebulan. Saya lost 5 kilo. Yeah, really good job. Adakah saya tak perlu senaman dan teruskan minum teh and air sahaja? So, beliau dah skip minum air manis selama sebulan and lost 5 kilos. And adakah saya tak perlu senaman dan teruskan minum teh and air sahaja? Now, Cornelia, my advice is always look at kesederhanaan dalam pemakanan and gaya hidup secara umumnya. In my opinion, over my many years of doing this, if you do this sebulan no minum air manis, or sebulan no garam, no manis, no lemak, sebulan tu bolehlah kau. But every bulan ke bulan, lama-lama you akan stress and you will give up juga. So my advice is, selepas ini, there's nothing wrong dengan minum air manis sikit. Hari-hari, I minum air manis every day. But bukan kuantiti yang lupa diri, but kuantiti yang sederhana. Every day, sepanjang hari, ada maybe half a glass of air oren, half a glass of Nescafe ice, half a glass of this. I don't need a full cup untuk memuaskan nafsu air manis. And if you're asking, what is inside this cup, suka hati aku, in this cup right now is just teh. There's no sugar, no creamer. But I do minum air manis sepanjang hari juga. So my advice to Cornelia right now is, minum air manis sikit, teruskan whatever you're doing. But my advice, aktifkan diri sebanyak mungkin. Does not mean you have to bersenam. Hukum senaman tak wajib. Mungkin sunat muakkad ke apa, but at the end of the day, you must be as active as possible, which can be berjalan, naik turun tangga, gotong royong, basuh kereta, clean your house, anything and everything. The more active you are, the more you burn. Macam nelayan, kerja buruh pun bukannya diorang bersenam, but their lifestyle is so active that they makan whatever they like all day, every day, and still look very cergas and very quote-unquote kurus. So same thing for you. Have a little bit of sugar here and there. Look at the pemakanan dan mahir mengawalnya, and aktifkan diri sebanyak yang mungkin. And if you can, Cornelia, do exercise. You're welcome. Hakuna Matata. Okay. All right. So here we have Honey again. Hello. Need some advice for her man. So her husband is German. I'm assuming before he was an active bicycle sports guy. Since we have a baby 5 years ago, all his sports activities stopped, and he works as a software developer. Follow German time, make him makin lupakan sport. He's German. Any idea to make him start sports again? Now, my advice to you is an advice I give to many of our participants who join our program, who have a young family. And their motivation comes from their family, their kids. Because if your baby or your son or your daughter is 5 years old now, barangkali yang besar, he or she wants to have time with your husband and you, and want to be active. And my advice is, use that as the motivation to get started, so that you can enjoy quality time as a family. But again, don't point fingers at just your husband sahaja. It has to be a family effort together to make time, because I always believe time is the most precious thing that we all have. And the baby of yours, which is 5 years old now, will sekelip mata become 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, and will slowly move away from needing the parents macam sekarang. So jangan sia-siakan, don't sia-siakan the masa kurnia dengan small children, and use them as pemangkin to mengaktifkan diri, so that you can go biking together. I'm assuming you're in Langkawi, do water sports, go up the mountains and all. use the baby as the motivator to get your husband going, but he himself needs to sort of again angkat tangan and be part of the process and do it together. Yeah, all the best to you and your husband. Okay. Okay, I can attempt to read this. This is Mahmud, yeah, Mahmud Rafi. Is that Mahmud Rafi Aldin? Aldin, yeah, because there's no atas bawah depan kan. So saya turun 10 kilo dalam sebulan setengah. Congratulations, ya, alhamdulillah. Memang wajib turunkan berat badan sebab saya ada fatty liver. Cuma sekarang macam dah flat je, nak turun lagi susah sebab makan over sikit dari biasa je, rasa badan naik balik. Now, I don't really see a question here, but yeah, since you've already lost 10 kilo sebulan setengah to lose 10 kilo is extremely cepat, and it's not going to be sesuatu that you can kekalkan bulan ke bulan. And you have to know the difference between mahir mengurangkan berat badan and mahir kekalkan berat badan. Ramai orang always mengeluh bahawa kekalkan sangat susah. For me, kekalkan is a lot easier than mengurangkan berat badan, but ramai orang susah nak kekalkan because during their kurangkan journey, it's so drastic. No fat, no sugar, senaman yang, burn out and all. So when they berjaya, then they burn out, then they lepas tangan, they merdeka. And instead of going somewhere in the middle, wasati yang kau, they go all the way extreme and lupa diri again. Of course, that's susah. So my advice is, you have to find a middle ground which allows you untuk kekalkan pemakanan, gaya hidup, senaman, not just untuk program sebulan, 2, 3, 4 bulan, but untuk selama-lamanya, supaya then it becomes part of your life and does not become benda yang luar biasa. Pemakanan, senaman, should not be benda yang luar biasa. It should be part of naluri kehidupan sepanjang tahun. And if I tell you, my life from January sampailah December, kecuali Ramadan, is always the same. And it makes me happy. There's always makanan yang menggembirakan, always benda yang merepek, biskut ke, ice cream ke, air manis ke apa. And makanan yang merepek perlu, because makanan yang merepek menggembirakan. It helps you to keep the journey going. So for me, kekalkan berat badan tu is a lot easier daripada perhaps kurangkan, but you need to find a balance supaya dapat menjayakannya. Beres? Beres. Yeah, so in that case, wishing you all the best, really, but teruskan supaya tak kembali kepada masalah yang lama, terutamanya the fatty liver problem. Alright, yeah, you are. Hi Zawi, how are you? Okay, daripada Kombi, Komba. Apakah exercise yang sesuai untuk umur awal 50-an, aerobik dan weight training, masih boleh buat lagi ke untuk weight loss, berapa jam seminggu? Yeah, 100%. Whether you are 50, 60, 70 or 40 or even 80, you can still do senaman bebanan, weight training, can still do senaman aerobik, but you have to know kemampuan diri. And if we have 5 orang yang berusia 50-an, there could be 5 orang dengan kemampuan kecergasan yang berbeza-beza. And it does not mean pendekatan untuk 5 orang ini is the same. So you have to tepuk dada, ask yourself, where are you right now if you are in your 50s? Di manakah kemampuan anda physically? Di manakah kemampuan anda in terms of knowing what to do? Do you have any kecederaan, any kemuskilan, or any kecelakaan yang menghalang diri anda daripada melakukan program senaman? And start from there. Don't follow orang lain because everybody is different. And I have a saying in our program called, don't follow anything I say or do, because what may work for me may not work for you. And it's important to memperkasakan perjuangan diri, to memahami peranan senaman aerobik, memahami peranan senaman anaerobik or weight training supaya dapat manfaat yang diharapkan. So, just talking about aging, when you age, you generally kehilangan otot. Why? Because hormonal changes dan pelbagainya. But jangan just serah diri, aku dah tua nak macam mana. You have to melibatkan senaman aerobik untuk kekalkan kekuatan otot jantung untuk menjadikannya sekuat-kuatnya di usia yang tua, and also melibatkan senaman bebanan dalam senaman yang berkualiti untuk kekalkan otot. It's not soal nak tambah, it's soal nak minimize muscle loss supaya at least you dapat menikmati kualiti kehidupan di usia yang tua. But if you are not sure where to start, my advice is dapatkan panduan daripada jurulatih, mungkin untuk seminggu, 2-3 minggu, but perah ilmu daripada beliau supaya you can membantu diri sendiri dan tak perlu bergantung kepada personal trainer semata-mata. Ya, dan berapa jam seminggu? Depends. Again, my advice is jangan hari-hari dan jangan senaman yang sama hari-hari, because senaman yang sama hari-hari is wear and tear otot yang sama, will meningkatkan kebarangkalian cedera mungkin. So for me, variety is always the best. Alright, daripada Kamaria Syamsina Kamarul Baharin, panjangnya nama, isi borang ni mesti berdoa je lah kan. Assalamualaikum, salam. Saya dah baca tentang sitting exercise to lose weight. Boleh ke coach komen sikit? You know, I always get asked during corporate seminars, boleh tak Cik Kevin menunjukkan senaman kerusi yang mudah diaplikasikan di pejabat? And I always tell them, don't waste your time. No one's going to really buat senaman while they sit on the chair sambil buat kerja. The niat tu macam okay lah, boleh cuba, and you might do it untuk sehari dua, but you're not going to do it dengan consistent. And I would rather you manage masa and dedicate time untuk bersenam dengan betul-betul. Doesn't have to be sejam dua, can even be just 30 minit sehari, 4-5 kali seminggu ke apa, for quality exercise, because senaman di kerusi, walaupun theoretically ada manfaat, in reality you are not going to do them. So what is the point? Beres. But to continue on the question on can you lose weight dengan senaman kerusi, you can lose weight tanpa senaman pun boleh. I can just lose weight dengan termenung 24 jam. Yang paling penting is kawal makanan ikut kepada apa yang kita bakar, yang ramai orang generally kurang memahami. But that's where our program, bukan soal kurus, is really educational to memperkasakan seseorang to really memahami peranan senaman, peranan pemakanan, peranan gaya hidup, supaya dalam mana-mana senario sekalipun mereka boleh make the adjustment because mereka memahami. Kalau ikut dengan membuta mana-mana produk atau program, you can kurangkan berat badan, but once the program tu dah habis and you hilang the panduan, you agak lost, and then the kebarangkalian to rebound to is very high. But if you dapat ilmu and you betul-betul memahami what to do, then you tak perlu join the program again if you don't want to, but then you boleh membantu diri sendiri, malah you boleh bantu orang lain pula. Alright, Oma Ottoman, what's your preference, lean or muscle build? I prefer lean and compact. Yeah, this is a selera masing-masing. I have friends that like to really go into bodybuilding sebesar-besarnya. Very admirable, very difficult, requires amazing dedication. And I have friends yang are more into the athletic look, also very amazing, very admirable, pun requires dedication juga. And that is the keindahan dunia. It's suka hati kau, suka hati aku. And we have pelbagai manusia yang mempunyai cita rasa yang berbeza-beza. Alright. Nanti buat TikTok kiraan heart rate tu ya. I'll try. Usually what I do is I will merumuskan from the live macam ni into shorter videos. So I kill two birds, one stone. But we'll see. Ya. Kadang-kadang the penerangan kat sini terlalu merapu. It's hard to cut into a short form video. But we'll see. Maina, hi Kevin, hi. Which is better, Zumba or cardio workout? Both are good. The best senaman is whatever you enjoy, and the best senaman for me really is kepelbagaian. So even if you zumba sekalipun, kalau asyik lagu yang sama yang you layan pun boring juga, and then manfaat tu dah tak ada. That's why they always come out dengan lagu yang lain, tarian yang berbeza supaya it's always agak pelbagai and menarik and menggembirakan. And same thing for cardio workout yang lain. If you like badminton, jogging, bicycle, swimming, hiking, it's suka hati kau as well. Yang paling penting is that you enjoy the activity and dapat mengamalkannya untuk jangka masa yang berpanjangan. Beres? Beres. All right. Let me see here. Yeah, Waalaikumsalam. Thank you so much. Time check, time check. We have 10 minutes left. 10 minutes left. Okay. Daripada Anis, macam mana nak rajin exercise? I don't know how to really answer that question because it's not always going to be easy and persekitaran memainkan peranan yang besar. And I've had this conversation today dengan seorang cikgu sekolah. And beliau berjaya kurangkan 60 kilo berat badan. Really amazing, daripada 160 kilo ke 100 kilo. And we were talking about environment. Yeah, if your persekitaran tak memberangsangkan diri anda untuk bersenam, it's very difficult to sort of membangkitkan diri seorang-seorang and melawan keadaan. But if your persekitaran membina, everyone around you aktif and bersenam, you seolah-olah macam rasa bersalah pula kalau tak bersenam. So you have to tepuk dada and ask yourself, what do you want? If you want to bersenam, but your persekitaran kurang memberangsangkan, you have to then tanamkan diri atau pindahkan diri ke tempat yang menggalakkan active lifestyle, whether it's join a program ke, cari group workout ke, online ke, apa ke, but you must membantu diri sendiri untuk menggalakkannya dengan tempatkan diri di tempat where orang mempunyai hala tuju yang sama juga untuk paling kurang dapat rentak permulaan. And once the rentak tu dah ada, ya, untuk mungkin berbulan-bulan, tiba-tiba the environment to change, you dah ada momentum, you dah ada rentak, you dah ada know-how, and kebarangkalian besar, perhaps you pula boleh mempengaruhi persekitaran anda yang baru itu. So for me, the first thing I would look at is the environmental factor to see whether ia menggalakkan ataupun tidak. Yeah, all the best. La 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 ta 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 ta. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. Yeah, you are welcome. You are welcome. Now again, I apologize if I don't answer all the questions, and if I don't answer the questions today. Again, we're doing this every Tuesday jam 8 malam, and yeah, let me see. I'm gonna just petik soalan yang lain sikit. Ya, setuju sangat beli equipment tapi buat sidai baju sahaja. I'm gonna try and see anything else that we have here. Yang lain daripada yang lain sikit. I'm just gonna try and scroll down sikit. Yep. Yeah, how to join? You can join our program just kat sini. Ya, bukan soal kurus. Our next program will start November 1st. It's a monthly program bersama dengan saya. And yeah, do check it out. A lot of amazing success stories, very educational untuk memperkasakan anda along your journey. Yeah, let me see. Any soalan yang lain daripada yang lain tak? Okay, let me see this one. Yeah, this is a bit different as well. Athira, Waalaikumsalam. Is it bad to drink coffee every day like mesin Nespresso capsule? I drink coffee every day. I am a coffee drinker. Coffee is good and bad. It's not all bad, not all good, but moderation tu penting. Now, the bad thing about coffee yang memerlukan some kind of kawalan pengambilan is the caffeine. But ramai orang don't really know why the caffeine tu is agak kurang baik. And for me, it's not really soal. Now, you take the caffeine as a booster, but if you are pregnant, breastfeeding, a child tak digalakkan mengambil minuman yang berkafein. Why? Because there is a kebarangkalian that the caffeine tu memerangkap kalsium badan and mempercepatkan mungkin osteoporosis untuk mereka yang berusia, boleh bantutkan tumbesaran fetus, bayi, kanak-kanak. So caffeine has a tendency to rob the body of some of its nutrients. So pengambilan yang sederhana tu is digalakkan. And what is sederhana is dalam mungkin 2-3 cawan maksima of coffee yang tidak mempunyai kuantiti caffeine yang tinggi macam Nescafe biasa. So you cannot compare 4 cawan Nescafe biasa dengan 4 espresso americano ke apa, because the caffeine in here is a lot higher daripada caffeine di sini. So again, always look at the pengambilan diri sendiri dalam kehidupan seharian. Now, do I drink coffee? Yes, every day. Yes. 3-4 cawan? Yes. Do I want to live forever? No, but I want to again mengamalkan pemakanan dan minuman yang sederhana and menggembirakan. So I always say, every day I have makanan yang merepek, I have makanan yang agak sihat in a mixed package. And for me, coffee is somewhere on both sides. It has some good qualities, some not so good qualities. But again, I'm not looking at kesempurnaan kehidupan. I'm looking at my own keseimbangan that makes me happy right now. If one day, and I'm in my 50s or 60s, a doctor says, hey, your bone density is not looking good, then I will probably cut down a little bit on the caffeine intake. It's based on supply and demand ketika itu. Beres. All right. Patutkah avoid gula jika nak kurangkan berat badan? Apakah yang sebaiknya? Now, my advice is the word avoid or elak gula is a very funny word. You have to always ask yourself, when somebody says elak gula, what does it mean? Like, how much am I mengelak the gula? Am I mengelaknya 100%? Or are some of the bullets termelekat dekat diri saya? So, be very specific with what you mean by mengelak. Now, would I recommend you to kosongkan pengambilan gula? No sugar? No. I would galakkan anda untuk mengambil gula dengan sederhana. Also very easy to say, what is this natang sederhana that you're talking about? My advice is just have a little bit of sugar here and there. Be waspada, is that the word? Terhadap pengambilan gula seharian. So ask yourself this question, ujian 101. If you put in 1 packet of gula from Starbucks ke McD ke hotel ke, 1 packet gula in your tea or coffee, how many calories is that? How many grams of gula is that? Most of you probably don't know. Why? Because you never really look at the packaging. But 1 packaging of gula is 5 gram. 5 gram gula is 20 calorie. 1 gram sugar, 4 calorie. Keperluan seharian you is 2,000 calorie mungkin, plus or minus sikit. So 20 calorie gula is not going to membinasakan your planned diet. Now, diabetes aside, just for the average person here, so even if you have 10% pengambilan daripada gula calories, that's 200 calories divided by 4 is about 50 gram. That means 10 paket gula here and there. Mungkin 6 hidangan sehari. That means 1.5 packets of sugar in every meal. Breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, snack. Could be in your buah, could be in your air manis, could be in your kuih, but it will be there. But just be aware about where the sugar is supaya you can menjadi pengguna yang agak bijak sana. But I would not recommend you to makan kosong gula because it's not very menggembirakan and tak lama you. Beres. I think this one is going to make TikTok. But I have to cut it nanti. All right, Yeah, Plateau, we talked about it earlier here. Maybe I'll do one more question if I see anything interesting. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, I see this question quite a few times already. Now, hi, Kevin. How to control breathing while stairs climbing? Exercise. Now, breathing dalam senaman depends on what jenis senaman that you do. If you do senaman bebanan like push-ups, shoulder press, bicep curls, and all, whenever you melawan gravity, you exhale. Yeah, because when you exhale in biology kita belajar, we will release carbon dioxide and ATP tenaga. So when you are exerting exercise, you want to hembus nafas. When you punch orang pun, that's when you want to exhale. So whenever you melawan gravity, you exhale. When gravity membantu, you tarik nafas. But when you climb the stairs, takkan you nak exhale sepanjang pergerakan, tak munasabah pula. So when it comes to aerobic exercise, like naik turun tangga, hiking, jogging, and all, the best advice that I once got is just breathe. Just breathe. Yeah, it doesn't really matter how you do it. Ikut rentak you yang tersendiri, but just breathe. Sebanyak yang you boleh, ikut kepada keselesaan diri sendiri. Beres. Beres. All right, so with that, I think we can wrap things off for tonight. Yeah, thank you so much for joining our live Q&A session here on Facebook and YouTube. I've been trying to find a way to do it on TikTok at the same time as well, but TikTok does not yet support a multi-streaming on multi-platforms. I would have to use another phone and somehow attach it here and look at one thing or the other. So we'll figure it out. Inshallah, maybe next week, or maybe I'll have a dedicated just TikTok live chat as well. But yeah, we'll see how it goes, and we will move on bersama as we go along. All right. So with that, I think we can end our session for tonight. I hope it was useful. If you haven't shared the session just yet, do share it dengan kawan-kawan seperjuangan. And I will see everybody again secara live minggu depan on Tuesday. And if you're joining our program, I will see you guys tomorrow as well. And on Thursday, as always, in our Zoom sessions. Yeah, Assalamualaikum. Have a great week ahead. And bye-bye. Thank you. Yeah, you are welcome, everyone. Thank you so much.